Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I am listening to Ariana Grande's newest album she released this past Friday called Positions, her sixth studio album. Now, I haven't heard a single song off this album. She did release the lead single Positions a week ago, but I knew that I wasn't going to listen to it because I wanted to do this video for you guys. So this is going to be a true first listen video. I haven't heard any of these songs yet. There are 14 songs. The album is 42 minutes. But before we get into the album and the music, I do want to acknowledge something that is occurring in the United States today. A very historic, a very significant day. Today on November 3rd, it is the US election. And I try to steer clear of politics on this channel. I don't like discussing politics. I'm not a politics guy, but I felt like I had to acknowledge it because it's one of the most significant and important US elections ever. And if you are American watching this video today, right now, hopefully you did vote. I don't know the results yet. I'm recording this video on Sunday on November 1st, so hopefully you get the desired result that you want. And if you don't, God bless you. I do live in Canada. I am your friendly northern neighbor, and it will affect Canada as well. It will. And I am so happy to live in Canada. Canada is one of the greatest places on earth, and I am so happy to be a Canadian. It's a beautiful place. And yes, Canada has its problems too, just like any other country in the world, but Canada is a great country, and I am so fortunate to be living here. And regardless of what occurs in this US election, regardless of the outcome and the repercussions, the next 4 years will be very, very difficult for many people, not just in the United States, but in Canada, where I live, all over the world, especially with this pandemic, which just added salt to the wound. Now more than ever, we just need to stop being divided by so many things on this planet. We need to come together, because if we can't even do that, this world, if it hasn't already, is just going to gradually keep falling apart until there is nothing left. So my fingers are crossed for you, regardless of where you live in the world, in the United States, somewhere else in the world, whatever struggle and heartache you're going through right now. My fingers are crossed for you, and I'm thinking about you, and God bless you. I don't normally open my videos this way, but I felt like I had to acknowledge what was happening in the world right now, today. Anyway, let's get into Ariana Grande's newest album, Positions. So we are gonna kick off this video with track number 1, Shut Up.
My presence sweet and my aura bright. Diamonds good for my appetite. Guess if I can just click one night. How you been spending your time? How you been using your time? So maybe you should shut up. Let it get so I never miss. Keep it peace, music for the hell of it. You'll be so worried about mine. Can't even get you some line. No, you sound so dumb. So dumb.
Alrighty, that was track number 1, Shut Up, and I really enjoyed the lyrics on this track. Also the production. I thought the production was really nice, and in the song she said, "My presence sweet and my aura bright, diamonds good for my appetite, guess it fucking just clicked one night, all of them demons help me see shit differently." Maybe you should shut up. If only you would shut up. Yeah, that's right. You should shut up. I'm sure there have been many times where people have watched one of my videos and subconsciously, or maybe verbally, have told me to shut up, which I'm completely fine with that because I do speak my mind in each and every one of these videos. I give you my honest opinions about a particular album or a song or a track. And some people, or a lot of people, don't agree with what I have to say, and some people get really hostile and really angry with me, and I can kind of relate to this song because I imagine a lot of people do tell me to shut up. So now we're gonna move on to track number 2, 34 plus 35. Okay, so I have to do a bit of mental math here. I was never the best at math. I was horrible at math. I actually failed grade 5 math. And I'm pretty sure I failed like grade 7 math too. Anyway, 34 plus 35 is 69. 69.
You might think I'm crazy. The way I've been craving. If I put it quite plainly. Feel your energy, my energy. Can you stay up all night? Fuck me to the daylight.
Oh.
Can you stay up all night? Fuck me to the daylight.
This song's hot. Math class never was good. Finally, me and Ariana Grande have something in common. Math class never was good. I hated math so much. I just don't use that side of my brain. I'm a very creative and artistic guy. That's the side of my brain I've always used. So, math, science, anything to do with numbers, I can't. I just can't. I was not expecting this song to be as explicit as it was, but I'm here for it. Once again, I am loving the lyrics on this album, and I really enjoyed this track. Fuck me till the daylight, 34 plus 35. You drink it just like water. You say it tastes like candy. So what you doing tonight? She's been drinking coffee. She's been eating healthy. You know I keep it squeaky. Saving up my energy. However, one of my favorite parts of the song was when she says, don't need no side dick, no. Got the neighbors yelling, earthquake. 4.5 when I make the bed shake. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is Ariana Grande's most explicit song. I mean, this is Janet Jackson territory right here. If you've listened to a Janet Jackson album before, you will know that Janet Jackson has some very explicit songs. More explicit than this song, believe it or not, especially songs from her All For You album and her Janet album, which just reeks of sex, and her Damita Jo album as well. So now let's move on to track number 3, Motive. Now, this is a collaboration with Doja Cat.
Tell me where I get this feeling that you ain't wanna turn me on. I admit it's exciting. Parts of me gonna like it. Tell me what's your motive? What's your motive? What's your motive? I'd have to curb you if you just came to us straight. Just say you treat me like gold, baby. Now you wanna spoil me? Did you want a trophy or you wanna spoil me, baby? What's your motive? What's your motive? What's your motive? What's your motive?
Alrighty, that was track number 3, Motive with a Doja Cat, and I don't think I've ever heard a Doja Cat song before. I think I might have here and there, I don't know, but this is my first time actually sitting down and listening to Doja Cat, and I liked it. And if you guys want me to listen to Doja Cat's album, because I know she released an album, so if you want me to listen to that album on this channel, I will. It says here that Doja Cat released 2 albums, actually. Her debut album came out in 2018, and her second album, Hot Pink, came out last year in 2019. I really like the beat on this song. It really got my body moving, and it's a great song. It fits in with the other 2 tracks on the album, and you really can't go wrong with it. When you listen to Ariana Grande and you listen to one of her albums, you know what you're getting yourself into, so it's great. It fits in with the other 2 tracks, and I enjoyed myself. So now let's move on to track number 4, Just Like Magic.
Wake up in my bed, I just wanna have a good day. Just like magic, just like magic. Middle finger to my thumb and then I snap it. I get everything I want 'cause I attract it. I'm being fucking broke, I be trying to stick in it. Yeah, say it's tricky at the top, gotta keep it slim, me go for a big one. Hey, just like magic, I'm attracted. I get everything I want 'cause I attract it.
Alrighty, and that was track number 4, Just Like Magic, and This was another good song. What I also like about this album is that the tracks are quite short. A lot of the tracks on this album are 3 minutes or shorter, and that makes this album a quick and easy listen. She is singing about thinking about what she wants, and she gets it just like magic. It just appears in front of her. It kind of reminds me of the law of attraction, the secret, how whatever you think you send out into the universe. So if you think about positive things, that's what you get back. And if you want something in this world, you just have to think about it or write it down in a journal, and then it will manifest in real life. Thinking in my head that it happens how it should. 12 o'clock, I got a team meeting, then a meditation at like 1:30. And then she goes on to say, good karma, my aesthetic, keep my conscience clear, that's why I'm so magnetic, manifest it, I finessed it. I get everything I want cause I attract it. I also like this lyric here. She says, gotta keep a slim ego for a thick wallet, losing friends left and right, but I just send them love and light. Good karma, my aesthetic. A lot of what she says in this song I can relate to 100%. And this is another song I really enjoyed listening to. So now let's move on to track number 5, Off the Table.
Will I ever love the same way again? Is love completely off the table? Do I sit this one out and wait for the next life? But I just wanna know, is love completely off the table? I'll wait for you, even though it always feels like I'll be number two. Can you hold me? If I loved you, can you prove it to me?
Okay, and that was track number 5, Off the Table with The Weeknd, which I forgot to mention that when I introduced the song, that The Weeknd is also on the song, and I absolutely love The Weeknd so much. I was going to listen to their latest album for the first time on this channel. I was going to do a video, but I didn't get around to doing it. Hopefully one day, maybe at the end of the year, I don't know, but I really love The Weeknd, and Ariana Grande and The Weeknd always sound great together. They collaborated on another song, Love Me Harder. Oh my god, how could I forget? Yes, Love Me Harder. I don't remember the last time I listened to that song. It's been so long. So yes, they collaborated once again, and they do make a reference to Love Me Harder in the lyrics. They say, I can love you harder than I did before. Was in a dark place back then. I was toxic, and then I was toxic to someone else. Definitely one of my favorite tracks on the album, if not my favorite track. And it's great. She sounds great on the song as well. She sounds great in each of these songs. But this one in particular, I was definitely getting Mariah Carey vibes as well. So now let's move on to track number 6, 6:30.
Yeah. I know I be on some bullshit. Know I be driving you crazy. You know I'm very delicious. And you know I'm very impatient. Might change my mind, so don't keep me waiting. Are you down? What's up? Are you down? What's up? Are you down? I so possessive and crazy, but I know it's just 'cause you love me, and you ain't scared to show me you're ugly. Are you down? What's up? Are you down? Tell me. Are you down? Are you down? Are you down? Are you down? Down like 6:30, sunset, my head.
Okay, and that was track number 6, 6:30. And I liked this song as well. All of these songs so far, in my opinion, are very solid, but I haven't been wowed yet by any of the songs. They're just very consistent Ariana Grande songs, but I don't know, I just haven't been blown away yet by any of the songs. For me, the highlights of the album so far are the lyrics. I'm very much into lyrics when I listen to an album. I love words. I like to write books. I'm a writer, so words are really important to me. So lyrics are really important to me. So that's why I focus so much on lyrics when I do these videos. And I really like the lyrics on these songs. And she is a co-writer on each and every one of the songs, I believe. I would love it if Ariana Grande would write a song completely by herself. I would love to listen to a song and at the very end it says, written by Ariana Grande, and that's it, just her. A lot of these songs have quite a few co-writers, upwards to 8 co-writers. I just really want her to write a song completely by herself. But anyway, let's move on to track number 7, Safety Net, featuring Ty Dolla $ign.
You know you're really something good. You're making me forget my past. Never thought I'd feel like that. I know if I should fight or flight, but I don't know. It's time for you to play your part now. You know we hit that jewelry store, we gon' ball out. Every time you pass away, feel away, run away.
Okay, and that was track number 7, Safety Net with Ty Dolla $ign. And this is another one of my favorite tracks on the album. I really enjoyed the production, and overall, I thought it was a pretty strong song, in my opinion. Trippin', Fallin' with No Safety Net. Boy, it must be something that you said. Is it real this time, or is it in my head? Got me trippin', fallin' with no safety net. So now we're gonna move on to track number 8, My Hair.
So I'ma give you some instructions that you can't be scared to try. So rub your hands from my hair. It's been way long overdue, just like these inches down my back. Come rub your hands from my hair, oh baby.
Okay, and that was track number 8, My Hair. I loved this song so much. I love the jazz influence, the saxophone, and that whistle register. This song was reminding me of Mariah Carey, and I really enjoyed it. I'm a big fan of jazz music. I don't listen to it all the time, but when I do hear it, I really do enjoy myself. It's like ear candy to me. Anyway, let's move on to track number 9, Nasty.
Got me all up in my feels, in all kind of ways. Don't wanna wait on it tonight, I wanna get nasty. What you waiting for? What you waiting for? Tonight I wanna get feel like a whole constellation, swimming like you on vacation. Like this pussy designed for you, 10 out of 5 on you. That's what I'm ready to tell us we true. Don't wanna wait on it tonight, I wanna get nasty.
Already, that was track number 9, Nasty, and nasty indeed. Ariana wants to get nasty tonight, and I feel like this is a great foreplay song. It's very hot, just like the rest of the album. I wasn't expecting this album to be as hot as it is. I mean, it is quite explicit in parts, and I'm here for it. It's a very sexy album. Boy, you know the vibes. I don't waste no time. Say what's on your mind. Make it real life. Get all the homies to bounce and go from the bed to the couch and get to know how I'm feeling inside. So now let's move on to track number 10, West Side.
You know that it ain't no rush. Let me keep it real. I'm gonna make you want more. I'm gonna be a new favorite. Show up, now if you're down to roll up. Meet me on the west side, find me. Hold up, there shouldn't be no hold up. I bring the light right back. I bring the life right back. There's more love if you follow emotions. Show up, now if you're down to roll up.
Alrighty, that was track number 10, West Side, and this was a good song. I liked it. It's not one of my favorites on the album. It's probably one of my least favorites. One of the reasons being is that it's quite short. It's just over 2 minutes, so it's not really long enough for me to really appreciate it. If it was maybe 3 minutes, I would maybe appreciate it a bit more, but I'm not the biggest fan of songs that are just over 2 minutes. I feel like 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes, or just over 3 minutes is the sweet spot, but when a song is just over 2 minutes, it's really hard for me to really appreciate it. And because of that, I don't really have much to say about it. Anyway, let's move on to track number 11, Love Language.
You talking shit all night. You hold it down with every word you speak. Could talk shit all night. You the medication when I'm feeling anxious. That's the kind of shit I like. Head over my shoes like whoa. Know you like an inside joke. Please, I'm just gonna make it my home.
That was interesting. Okay, that was track number 11, Love Language, and I like this song. I liked the disco influence in the song. I've been on a bit of a disco binge lately. I've been listening to a lot of disco music from the 70s, and I liked this track. I will say I also love how she plays around with jazz on this album as well. Disco and jazz, I mean, it's great. Anyway, let's move on to track number 12, Positions, the lead single off the album. I've been waiting to listen to this song for the last week, so let's get into it.
Send you to me. I'm trying to open, I don't read. Switching up positions for you. Feeling in the kitchen and I'm in a bedroom. Searching for you. Perfect, perfect. Got too good to be true. Switching up positions for you. Feeling in the kitchen and I'm in a bedroom. Searching for you. Some shit that I usually don't do. Kitchen and I'm in a bedroom. And they say I'm coming through. Searching for you.
Alrighty, that was track number 12, Positions, and I can see why this was chosen as the lead single. It is quite catchy. I feel like this might be the catchiest song on the album. It definitely does get stuck in your head, and I liked it. That chorus is already stuck in my head. I can't stop thinking about it. I guess it did what it was supposed to do. So we still have 2 more tracks left on the album. Track number 13, Obvious.
A little taste of you in the morning, keep me warming. I'm praying we don't fuck this up. My love is free. Ain't no price on my loyalty. Could I be more obvious? Hard to think when I'm under you. Others that I've had to impress me before, but I know you the real thing when you walk through the door. Could I be more obvious?
Okay, and that was track number 13, Obvious, and this was another song I really liked. This album is very, very consistent. I haven't really disliked any of the songs on this album yet. There are obviously songs I prefer more than others, but as a whole, this is a very... I feel like this is just a very consistent album from Ariana Grande. No Shit, Got Me Right Where You Want Me, Baby, Could I Be More Obvious, Hard to Think When I'm Under You, Tell You All of My Dirty Truths. This album is very sexy. So we have come to the end of the album, track number 14, POV.
It's like you got superpowers. I wanna love you the way that you love me. I love to see me from your point of view. I wanna trust me. I'm getting used to receiving, still getting good at not leaving. I wanna love me the way that you love me. I love to see me from your point of view.
Okay, and that was the final track of the album, track number 14, POV. Hands down, one of my favorite songs from the album, and I think this is one of the strongest songs on the album, and I really enjoyed it. It's a very beautiful, touching song. I wanna love me the way that you love me. Oh, for all of my pretty and all of my ugly too, I love to see me from your point of view. This was a great way to wrap up the album, and I loved it. So that is all 14 tracks of Positions, and I really enjoyed myself. I loved the lyrics on this album. I loved the stories. This album was about relationships and sex. I didn't think this album would be as sexy as it was. A little explicit at times. I have no problems with that. And it's a very hot, steamy, sexy album, but it's also very touching and sweet. It's also very calming and relaxing, which is something I also wasn't expecting. I just wanted to just lean back and just relax, light a candle and just chill. It's very soothing. I also loved how she played around with jazz on this album on a couple tracks, even disco, which was a lot of fun. And overall, I enjoyed it. Do I enjoy it more than Thank You Next? I actually listened to Thank You Next again prior to listening to this album. And I don't know which one I prefer more, actually. This album definitely has a different feel than Thank You Next, and I'm struggling. I don't know which one I prefer over the other. I don't know if I prefer Thank You Next or Possession. So leave a comment. Which album do you prefer more? Do you prefer Thank You Next or do you prefer Positions? I also enjoyed how a lot of the songs were under 3 minutes. They were quite short. The album is only 42 minutes, even though there are 14 songs on the album, which is really nice. I do a lot of album review and first listen videos on this channel, and there are a lot of albums I listen to that are quite long, and the tracks themselves can go onwards to over 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and it can get a little tiresome at times, so it's refreshing to listen to an album where the songs are quite short. In my opinion, I feel like this is a very solid album from Ariana. I wasn't blown away by any of the tracks. I wasn't like, wow, that was simply remarkable. Nothing really shook me to my core when it comes to this album. It's a very consistent album from Ariana, but it didn't blow me away. A lot of these songs had so many co-writers. I mean, upwards to 9 people wrote some of these songs, and I don't know, I'm really hoping for Ariana to really branch out in her songwriting and to really be the sole songwriter on a lot of her songs. I'm hoping that she gravitates towards that one day and she doesn't rely heavily on other people to co-write her songs. I mean, this is only her 6th album, so who knows where she's gonna be 10 years from now when she puts out her 10th album, 15th album, who knows. So maybe one day down the line, there will come a day where an album from her will completely blow me away and I'll be shook to my core and I won't even be able to express how I feel because I just feel so blown away by the music. So what did you guys think of the album and which songs from the album are your favorites? Maybe you didn't like this album at all. Maybe you thought it was horrible. Maybe you thought it was boring. You just didn't like it. Maybe you loved it. Maybe you think this is her best album. Tell me why. So I think that's officially all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. You can message me. You can tell me other artists I should check out. I'm open to any artists from any decade. You can find me on Apple Music. You can check out my playlist and so on and so forth. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.